Hey Mike, what's up?
Hey, what's your argument?
So where do you get your morality from?
From my surroundings, my environment tells me that it isn't like an action that I do, right? If I punch you in the face, it hurts, so I don't do it. I get my morality from listening to other people.
Listening
So
to other people?
what makes you think we should harm animals?
No, but since you take your morality from seeing other people, a vast majority of people in society eat meat, so you should be eating meat too.
No, I don't look. I don't get my morality just listening to what other people say or what they do. I get my morality from actually understanding the effects of my actions towards other people, right?
So you,
And
so you're
for
changing it.
example, if for example, do you think it's okay to smack a dog in the face?
What does this have to do with the discussion?
Everything.
It doesn't.
Do you think it's okay to smack a dog in the face?
Smacking a dog in the face? No.
There you go. So you think it's wrong to hurt animals, right?
No, if hurting the animal for, just for the fun of it, yes.
Well, okay, but you don't have to eat an animal either. You don't have there is no reason to eat an animal. So
Well,
why do you do it? Why do you cause them suffering?
cause them suffering. Well, animals, by their nature, are they hunt. They kill other animals.
Right, but we don't have to. We don't have to kill other animals. So
No, but
why do you
there's no
partake in it?
no. The point is, you're trying to say that it's wrong to hurt other animals, right?
Yeah,
So
because
for
we
you to
have
say
options.
for you to say that it's wrong, that means you must have uh, a some sort of a morality metric to determine that. So I'm asking you, where do you get yours from?
From listening to my actions and understanding the effects of my actions. If I punch you in the face, it hurts you. You say ow, so I don't do that. It's called having empathy.
So it's based on your opinion only.
No, I just explained. You're not listening. I just explained to you. I get my morality from listening to other beings around me and what they have to say about my actions towards them.
What does the monkey tell you?
That if it is in pain, it yells and it screams and runs. So I
Hmm.
don't do that. If a cow is sitting there minding its own business, I don't go up to it and shoot it. I leave it be. I don't harm it because I don't have to.
So why do other animals do that to each other?
Because they live in the wild. They have to out of necessity. But we don't
No,
live in the wild. We don't have to eat other animals.
no. There's animals that are domesticated that still eat meat. They still hunt.
Okay, but those
So
animals, we feed them those things. That's our fault
no,
too.
no, no, no,
I
no.
am against that. I'm against domesticating animals. I am for
No, no, no.
a
I'm saying they will
society
hunt
where we
by
don't
their
harm any
nature.
animals, where we reduce the amount of harm and suffering, and we don't cause any
But
animals to die.
by their nature they hunt. By their nature they kill.
Okay, but we don't have to, right? We are human. We're not lions. We don't have to kill animals.
So what is the distinction between us and the animals?
There is no distinction.
So we're just animals. So what's wrong with it?
What's wrong is we have a choice. The other animals don't have a choice.
Why do we have a choice and they don't have a choice?
Because we have stores. Come on, this is
We
basic,
have
right? We have
stores.
stores, we have choices. I can choose what I eat more than a lion can, right? That's why we
But
have
we're just
choices, and with
animals.
choices comes responsibility.
But we're just animals. Those animals have choices too.
You think a lion can go to the store and buy plants?
And animals can they're the same as us. There's no difference
No, a
between us.
lion cannot go to the store.
We're but you're saying that we're the same as animals. There's no difference between us.
Morally, we're the same. But when it
Morally, we're
comes
the
to
same.
the actions that we do, we are different. We have different societal norms.
Wait,
We
wait. You
have
said
stores.
no,
The
no.
animals don't.
You just said us and animals are morally the same. So
Yeah.
why should I care about not hurting another animal, but that animal doesn't care at all? If we're morally the same,
What do you mean the animal? Animals absolutely care. They don't want to be harmed, just like we don't want to
so
be
why do
harmed.
they harm other animals?
Because they have to, out of necessity, but we
Why?
don't.
Why? No, 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 no. You said morally, right? You said we have the same morality as an animal, and if the animal doesn't care about
No, I
hurting me,
never look, you're trying so hard here. It's
no,
really
it's you
interesting.
who's trying so hard to
Oh,
justify something that is not
let's
justifiable.
look. you are slitting the throats of animals, you are stuffing them in cages, you are making their
Yeah.
lives living hells in
Yeah.
factories. What
Yeah.
justifies that? When you know harming animals is wrong, you just agreed that
No.
slapping a dog in the face is wrong.
No. No. No.
So why are you
I said no.
causing
No.
further
I said. I said.
unnecessary harm?
I said slapping an animal and torturing an animal is wrong, right?
Well,
If
then why do you do it? Why
no,
do you? But
we don't
then,
torture. No, 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 no. We don't torture animals, right? We domesticate animals, yes, for uses. Second, we kill animals for food.
but we don't have
Just
to eat them.
but your issue is that we don't have to do that. We're animals. We're
But
animals,
we,
just like the
yeah,
like you said
we don't
earlier.
have to eat the
Morally, we're
animals.
just
We
like
don't
the
have
other
to eat them.
animals.
We don't have to
Huh?
eat them.
Sorry, what was that?
We don't have to eat them.
That doesn't. That's beside the point. Like you said, we are
It's
there for
the
you. For your Mike.
it's
Your
the
own
only
issue is
point. It's the
Mike.
absolute point here. The point
Mike,
is we
you're
don't have to
misconstruing.
harm them.
You're misconstruing that, saying that by your own the definition, there is nothing morally different between us and animals, right? So if an animal has the right to go and hunt and eat, right, it's the
No,
same as us.
no.
And number two,
Look,
and number two,
I never said
let me
that.
finish. Let me finish. Let me finish.
I never said
Number
that
two.
my morals equal the animal's
Yeah, yeah,
morals.
you did.
It's,
Yeah, you did.
no,
You said
what I'm
our morals
saying
and the
is,
animals are the same.
hold on, relax. What I actually said was that in terms of our value, we are morally the same. In other words, within my moral framework, I consider animals, I don't harm animals for the same reasons I don't harm humans. Morally, in terms of moral value, we're the same. But in terms of our individual moral, frameworks, they're different, of course.
Dude, what did you just say? You just contradicted yourself. If you said in your moral framework, the value of a human is the same as another animal, right? That means whatever we do, the animal can do, and whatever the animal can do, we can
No,
do.
no, because we are in a certain situation that the animals are not in. That's why our moral choices, our decisions are going to be different.
Well, can you repeat that?
It's very simple. Animals don't have choices. We do have choices. With
Why is that?
choices comes more responsibility to make the right choices. We don't have to eat animals, so we don't do it. It's
Oh,
wrong to eat them if you
okay,
don't have to, because eating them causes torture.
okay. So our morality is different than animals' moralities. Is that the
Our
conclusion?
our moral obligations are different. Yes.
Okay, so we're different than animals now.
Of course, we're different. I never
Okay,
said we're the same in every way, but what I did say is that morally we have the same value. Don't harm humans for the same reasons I don't harm an animal. They're the same reasons why I don't, from my perspective, I don't want to harm an animal. You seem to be
okay.
confusing those two things.
No, no, no. Because you keep changing, Mike. You keep changing. You keep changing your definitions.
You
Second thing,
you have still not defended your own view. What justifies slaughtering all these billions of animals? Why
like
do
I
you
said,
have to do
what
this? What
justifies it
makes it
is like I already told you. I already answered your question. Is that we're animals? We're
okay?
animals.
So okay, great. So animals grape each other in nature. Can we
Yeah.
grape? Should we grape?
Should we grape each other? According to you, we're all animals. Why not?
No, this is your logic. This
No,
is
that's
your
not.
logic. You just
No,
presented to me.
no, no. That's your logic.
No, this is your logic. You said what justifies killing them is that we're animals,
We're
right?
animals.
Okay, great. So you think we should do everything the animals do?
According to your logic, yes, since
No,
we're morally the same.
I never said we should do everything the animals do. You're saying that. You're the one
No,
saying we
no,
should.
no. I'm no, no. I'm against that. I'm against
Okay,
raping
great.
and that.
So then you agree that we shouldn't do everything the animals do. We're different in
Yeah,
some
yeah.
way.
Yes, we
Great.
are. We have consciousness. They
So
don't.
what justifies harming animals to you?
Justifying animals to me, that it's fine. There's no issues in that. It's part of nature.
Why? Why do you think it's okay to slaughter an animal that's innocent?
It's part of nature. Nature.
But we don't have to partake in it. We don't have to be, there is no nature that we have to be in. We
What?
don't
Why?
have to partake
What?
in that stuff that you call nature. We can eat something plant based and
But we
bypass
don't
all
have
that
to.
torture.
But we don't have to.
We should. That's what ethics means. We should be
No.
doing something. We're
The,
obligated morally to not
Mike,
harm the animals because we have
Mike,
choices. This is a very
Mike, your
simple thing.
argument is that, Mike, if you're trying to say that it's better for us not to eat that animal, right? There's no issue in that. But if you're trying to say that it's morally wrong to eat that other animal, then you're wrong.
Why? Why do you think, what justifies morally killing and slaughtering all these innocent animals?
Because Mike, you have no morality. That's the problem.
No, no, we're talking about your morality. What justifies?
My morality comes from my religion. Your morality doesn't come from anywhere.
Okay, great. So what makes you think you get to slaughter all these animals?
Because in my religion, that it's morally fine to do so.
Okay, great. So you think it's morally okay? Is it okay in your religion to hit a dog in the face or hit a cow in the face?
To hit these animals, no,
Okay. Is it okay to go up to an animal
that
and
would be
slit its neck
torture.
open? Is it okay to go up to an animal and slit its neck open in your religion?
Yes, if you're going to eat it.
Okay, great. Now,
Yeah.
where in your religion does it say you have to eat the animals?
You have to eat the animals.
Yeah.
It's not. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not. If you
Sir,
want, no,
where in your religion does it say you have to eat the animals?
you don't have to eat the animal.
Great.
But
Okay,
what I'm
great.
telling you is
Now,
what I'm telling you is that is
hold
there's a
on,
difference.
hold
Is that
on,
you're saying it's
hold
morally
on.
wrong.
Shh. I know it's so hard for you to listen, but just listen. According to your religion, do you think it's better to not harm animals when you don't have to, or is it better to harm animals if you don't have to? Which one's better to your religion?
Like I said, Mike, if you just said that, hey, we shouldn't.
Now, answer the
No,
question.
no. I
Answer
said
the question.
your argument is more.
Answer the question.
Your argument is morality.
Answer the question. In your religion, is it better to cause excess harm to animals that don't need to be harmed, or to not cause that excess harm? Which
In
one's
my
better in your
religion,
religion?
it's forbidden to torture an animal, but it's permissible to kill an animal for eating.
That's not what I asked you, sir.
I answered your question.
That's not what I asked you.
I answered your question.
What I'm asking you is something very different. In your religion, is it better to cause less harm to the animals or to cause more unnecessary harm to the animals? Which one?
Like I told you, you cannot torture an animal in my religion.
Sir, answer my
I
question.
answered it. I told you there is nothing wrong with eating it.
Sir, what is worse? This is the last time I'm going to ask you this question. What is morally worse? To harm an animal for no reason or to not harm the animal? Which one's morally worse?
Dude, you legit said the same thing twice. If you're torturing an animal, it's wrong.
Okay, great. So then why do you do it?
We're not torturing the animal. We're killing the animal. That's different.
What's the difference? You're
Different
killing them for no
is
reason. You're killing them
the
for no
difference.
reason.
The difference is in the suffering of the animal. When you kill the animal and you slit it as painless as possible, they don't suffer. They just die.
Okay, so you're
Torturing an
saying,
animal is keeping it alive.
okay, number one, you're doing it for no reason still. You're
No,
still killing an animal for no reason.
it's not
Secondly,
the reason is to feed ourselves.
secondly, you're still slitting their throats open. You're still harming them.
No, it's as painless as possible. They don't really suffer.
What did
They
Okay,
don't.
if I slit your neck open, would it be harmful for you?
No, I wouldn't feel anything. I would go numb.
So that would be okay to you to do that to somebody?
No,
Okay, great.
but
So
there's a
then,
difference.
then
This
you
is what
agree.
I'm trying to explain to
Then
you.
you agree that it's wrong to slit someone's neck
Uh,
open. So then, why do you think it's
Mi-
okay in your religion?
Mike, I'm not like you. I don't say morally the life of a human is the same as an animal.
What's
You
the
do.
difference? Then what's the difference between us?
We are humans. We have consciousness.
So do animals.
No, animals don't have consciousness.
Yes, they do.
No, they
Animals are
don't.
conscious.
Mike,
Cows, pigs, and
Mike,
chickens are all conscious.
Mike, you just said yourself that the animal has to hunt because that's its nature. It can't do
Sure,
anything
you're
else.
running away. You're running away. All animals are conscious to a degree.
No, they're not on the same level as we are as humans.
Okay. So, what level of consciousness do they have to be?
There's only us consciousness, and then everybody else is different.
Okay.
Nobody's
Did you
on our
know
level.
that?
They
Okay.
can not,
Did you know that?
none.
Did you know that pigs and cows are at a higher conscious and intelligence level than babies that are human?
Mike, that baby's capability is that it will have that.
Okay, but what if the
That pig,
baby?
that
Okay.
pig, that pig,
uh,
that pig can live for 1,000 years, and it will never attain that.
Okay. So how about a disabled person who has the same conscious level as a pig?
That
Would it be
human
okay to
being
kill that
still
person? Do you think it would be okay to kill that person?
that that person, that disabled person, at one point in time could have had that ability, could have
No,
had that
no, they
potential.
never did. They
Second,
never had that ability. And they never will.
no, that's fine. But because they are part of our species as humans, we do not kill them because it's
Oh,
morally wrong.
okay. So now it's not consciousness. Now it's just the sheer fact that they are a different species from us. Is this the only thing that's stopping you from uh being vegan?
Being vegan? No,
Yeah.
dude, you yourself said it that the nature
No,
of these
no,
animals is that
you're not tracking. Look, you're not tracking.
I am tracking.
You
It's that you're trying to divert the discussion to something.
no. You said that we are
Well,
more
by
conscious than the
religion,
animals, and I
your
raised
morals
a
are different.
point, and I showed you that there are some instances where animals are more conscious than us, or equally conscious to us. So then you
You're
said,
being dumb,
okay.
Mike.
Then you said, okay, wait, we're a different species. We're humans, and they're another species. Great. So now we're here. This is the last thing that's stopping you from being vegan. So let's see if you're consistent.
And Mike, how can an animal be more conscious than you?
If there was a person who was a different species than us, but
How
they had gray skin.
how can an animal be more conscious than you?
Sir, listen to the question.
No, no,
If there
you're
was a
moving the
person,
discussions
sir,
away.
if there was a person who was a different species than our species, because they had gray skin, right, that kept them out of our genetic code enough to render them a different species, would it be okay to kill that person because they had
You,
gray skin?
you don't understand biology. They'll still be the same species even if they have a
No,
different skin
they're a
color.
different species. They're a different species. They
They're the
just
same
have gray
species, Mike.
skin and they can't reproduce with us. They're a different species. Would it be okay to kill those people?
I don't divulge myself in hypothetical situations that don't exist. You do. Second thing,
You
Mike,
believe in a God that doesn't
Mike,
exist.
answer the
But
question,
more
Mike.
importantly, the hypotheticals are extremely
More
important in
conscious than
logic.
you.
They're still
How,
valid.
how does
Just
an
because you
animal have
don't
more
like,
conscious than
just
you?
because you don't want to answer the question doesn't make it invalid. So please answer the hypothetical, because if you
Answer
can't
the
answer it,
question.
if you can't answer this hypothetical, then it means your morality is very
No,
inconsistent
no,
and
no,
there's many holes in it.
no, no,
So,
no, no, no.
what would you kill that person if they're a different species?
Like I answered you, right? I don't know that. I don't know who this person is and what they are and what they
So
function
you're
as.
not going to answer the question.
No, I'm addressing what we see in our reality. Animals that exist.
Sir,
If you tell
we
me
see
killing a
different
pig is
species of humans in reality. They exist in the fossil record. It's not
who
impossible.
who
So, do you agree? Do you think that you can kill a person just because they're a different species than Homo
that
sapiens?
person doesn't exist. You're diving into nonsense.
No, it's not
I
nonsense. It
use real world
actually does
examples.
exist, sir. There have been
Where,
many humans that were different species before us.
according to what you believe, that there are our ancestors. That's ourselves, which still
Yeah,
be
but
morally wrong.
it's very possible that there are other that they
Okay,
there
okay,
could
then
be.
that would be cannibalism, Mike.
Okay, there you go. You said cannibalism. Now,
Yes,
so now you assuming that you think it's wrong to do that,
yes.
even though they'd be a different species. So now there's a contradiction in your
No,
morality.
those animals, the animals that
Now
you're
you think,
discussing,
hold
that
on.
species are the same as us.
No, they're a different species.
They're our ancestors, Mike.
They're a different species, though.
We would never existed.
They're a different species.
We would have never existed.
We have coexisted with different
Mike,
human
use real
species
world
before.
examples.
This is a real world example,
No, it's
sir.
not, because those people
There
don't
was a
exist.
time. Shh. Listen, sir. Relax. You're so anxious. Take
No,
a deep
I'm
breath
very
and
calm.
relax. Take a deep breath and relax.
I'm very calm.
There was a time where humans lived amongst other species, different varieties of species of humans that coexisted at one time in our past. It's not impossible. It's real. Okay. So, according to you, you would think it's cannibalistic to kill another human, even though they're different species. But you just said before that you get to kill an animal because they're a different species. There's a contradiction in your moral framework. You're saying that you think it's okay to kill another species, then you're saying you think it's not okay to kill another species. Which is it? And how do you solve this?
Like I said, Mike, is you're diving into hypotheticals that don't exist. Give me a real world example that we're facing in our day.
This is a real world
And the
example.
last,
This is
In
a
the,
real world example.
no,
This is
no,
not a. This is not
who?
just a crazy hypothetical. This is a real situation
It
with
is a
what
crazy
exists.
hypothetical because it does not. It has not existed in
What?
thousands of
Look,
years.
hypotheticals are valid.
No, if they're actually practical, this is not
No, they're still
practical.
valid if they're not practical. They can still be valid.
No, no,
You
no. They have to be practical.
no, they don't.
Yes.
Hypotheticals are still valid if they're logical.
This is not logical.
Where is it illogical for another species to exist when it already did?
No, no, no. What's illogical is that we're discussing about modern day time and being
No,
vegan.
we're talking about ethical frameworks here.
No,
We're talking about ethics, and I'm trying to point out an inconsistency in your ethics that you're so
no.
flabbergasted about.
I'm
Because you can't
consistent.
answer the question. Look,
It's you who is being
you answer the
inconsistent.
question.
You know there is no example in modern day time or in the last thousands of years that pertains to this. So you're
Yes,
jumping
there
to
are. We
millions.
existed.
You're jumping
Okay,
to
I'll
you're
give you an
jumping into
example.
tens of
We
thousands of years.
we existed just a few 10,000 years ago with Neanderthals. They're a different species than us. Okay, so they were very similar to us in every regards. They're just a different species. That was a
No,
few
no,
ten
they
thousand years
no,
ago.
no, no, no.
So again, sir, let's get back to the logic. Logically speaking, do you think it's okay to kill another person if because they're a different species? Yes or no?
Mike, you're like I told you, I answered your question. You're
You have
divulging
not yet.
into a non-practical hypothetical. You're divulging to a non-practical
And
hypothetical.
what's wrong with that?
Give me an example that exists in modern day
What's
time.
wrong with a hypothetical?
No, no, because I'm telling you, the hypothetical is flawed. You're discussing a
Where is it
non-existing
flawed?
thing.
Where is it flawed?
It's flawed because it's not applying to real world.
That
There
doesn't
is
make
no
it
animal
flawed.
that exists.
Does not
There's no
make it
animal.
false.
There
Okay.
is no.
Sir, I know you're complaining, but just relax for a second. I know you're so anxious about this and you're so worried and nervous about this hypothetical, but why? What's the contention here? It's still valid, it's still logical, and it's still actually
It's not
could
real.
apply to modern day. It's
It's not
very
real.
plausible.
It's not real.
It doesn't make it's false.
It does make false.
It doesn't make it false logic.
It is
It's still
false.
valid. It's still valid. Valid logic.
By your own logic, Mike, it's me saying that what's it called? A pig started having consciousness.
Pigs have consciousness.
No,
Yeah.
dude. I mean, like our level consciousness.
Some pigs do have our
No, they
level of
don't,
consciousness.
dude. No, they don't.
Pigs have
Maybe
more
you, maybe
more
maybe they have.
Oh, there he is. He's starting the insults. It's a very simple thing, guys. Pigs are conscious and aware, and they're intelligent in many regards than other humans. There's no reason to harm an animal. And hypotheticals, just because you can't answer them doesn't make them bad. You're just complaining about hypotheticals when there's no reason to. Hypotheticals are still valid.
Hello, hello.
Hey, what do you got?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. Well, do you want me to answer the question, or should I answer the previous
Yeah.
statement?
What justifies killing and slaughtering all these innocent animals that don't have to be harmed?
I'm gonna answer. I'm not attacking anyone. I don't listen. I grew up vegan. I'm not vegan anymore. It's a whole thing.
No.
But
Just. What is your argument against going vegan?
I think it depends on your upbringing and your financial status as well.
No. Look, what is your argument that justifies slaughtering animals?
Let me answer the question. Calm down. Let me answer the question. I'm saying I think it depends on your situation. If everyone can be
Hey Mike, how are you?
Great. What's your argument today?
Oh, what's gonna happen when the vegans eat all the plants?
So most crops in the world are actually grown for meat eaters. So in fact, if we all went vegan, we'd actually save 75% more crops. We'd have more crops for us. We have
Yeah, but
more
what's gonna
land,
happen
more
when the
crops,
vegans eat all
less
the
carbon
plants?
emissions. The
Mike,
world will be way
Mike,
better off if we went
Mike,
all
answer
vegan.
the question. What's gonna happen when the vegans eat all the plants?
That's not going to happen. That's
What are you
ridiculous.
talking about?
Because there are more than enough plants to feed 90 billion animals. Do you understand that every year?
There's
Hold on and relax and listen. I know you guys are so anxious to beat me. I know you guys want to beat the vegan, but just relax. Okay. We feed 90 billion animals a year on the current agriculture system around the world with plants. 80% of plants around the world are grown for your animals that you slaughter and kill and grape. So the animals that you grape and kill are eating up all the plants. If we went vegan, we would actually save all those plants because they're not going to eat them anymore. So the problem is you're actually causing more plants to die as a meat eater. Vegans are doing way better for the environment and the animals by far. So what is your argument against this? What's your counter, and what justifies harming animals?
so yeah. What are these animals eat plants? You just answered your own question. What's gonna happen when the vegans eat all the plants?
I don't know what you even mean by that. What do you mean eat all the plants?
Animals,
That doesn't
animals.
make sense. We're only eating a maybe 5 or maybe 25% of all the plants
So
right now
they're gonna reproduce,
that
right?
we
We're not gonna eat
produce.
animals. They're gonna just keep
Sure.
reproducing. We're gonna have trees. We're gonna have them being trampled by horses. Come on.
No, that's not going to happen, right? What's going to happen is we're going to slowly wean off of animal agriculture, and the amount of animals that exist are going to slowly go down. Because right now we are breeding so many animals into existence just to feed you
No,
guys.
they're gonna reproduce,
No,
and they're
they're
gonna
not.
make more
They're not going to
animals.
reproduce.
That's what they're
We
skilled to do.
look. People say this all the time. They say, "Oh, if we would go vegan, all the animals are going to reproduce and overpopulate." No, in fact, that's what veganism would stop. Because you guys are the ones who are replicating and reproducing all these animals forcibly. You're forcing these animals to be bred into existence way more than nature could do. Guys, 90 billion animals. Think about this number. 90 billion. That's 10 times more people than there are on the planet. We produce them every year just to feed people. Why? Why are we doing this? It's ridiculous. 90 billion animals. If we stopped doing that, we would save way more lives. We would save more plants, save more trees. We would do way better for the environment and the animals. So what justifies all this harm you're causing?
Well, you could put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig, right?
You have not addressed anything I just told you.
Okay, you're arguing that the population of animals is going to decrease because of vegans.
Yes, you are causing an excess amount of animals to exist right now. Way
No.
more than the environment can handle.
Oh, really? That's a fact?
Yes, because 15% of greenhouse gases around the world globally are from animal agriculture. So we would actually save about 75% of that by going vegan. We would actually save carbon emissions.
Who lied to you?
Climate change. We would actually help climate change a tremendous amount by being vegan.
No, there's supposed to be way more animals.
No, but no, not at all. We are the ones who are causing so much destruction. We are making these animals, putting them in factories, forcing them to be in factories for us. They're like slaves. We are enslaving all these animals. Why? We should not be doing this.
Right, but because of veganism, there's less animals.
No, absolutely not. There's not less animals. It's just the right amount of animals that have to exist, that should exist.
Oh, okay. Starting when?
Whenever we want to. Whenever you decide to, realize that what you're doing is wrong. Do you have an argument now?
Well, yeah. I mean, a baby drinks milk from its mother, right?
Okay, let's get the next guy in here. Hello?
How are you doing?
Great. What's your argument?
Well, I mean, he had a good point. I mean, what do we do about like rabbits? You know how they reproduce so quickly? A lot of small animals actually reproduce quickly, like rats, rabbits.
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this. What justifies slaughtering billions of animals per year? Like that's the elephant in the room, right? What justifies
Well, I mean,
slaughtering all these
like
animals?
he said, are you going to get rid of the ones? Are you going to neuter them? I mean, what are we going to do to all the cows that are around? We just going to get rid of them? I mean,
No, we're not going to just. We're going to put them in sanctuaries. Like you're thinking that everybody's
you
tomorrow's
still
going
have
to
to
go
feed
vegan.
them.
Look, hold on, hold. Let me speak.
Calm
You're
down, Mike. Calm
you're
down, Mike.
think yeah, you're thinking that tomorrow we're all going to go vegan. That's clearly never going to happen. Let's face it, it's never going to happen. What is practical is that we will slowly dwindle and wean off of animal agriculture, and slowly but surely the population of animals will slowly decrease. That's the goal, right? That's likely what's going to happen. Um, but if tomorrow we all went vegan, we would put animals in sanctuaries and stop reproducing them, such that their populations would slowly dwindle as well. It would just take a bit more time. But again,
So,
well,
so
actually,
you're going
it would just take a bit more effort. But there's no
so,
reason to again harm animals. You have
so is
you have
that
not
not
provided a good
cruel?
reason to just slaughter and grape all these animals that you're graping.
So that's not cruel putting them in sanctuaries and stopping them from reproducing?
No, why would putting an animal in a sanctuary where they're being free and happy and fed, why would that be harmful for them? You're doing the opposite. You're
No,
stuffing them in cages and
you're
and
talking
you're
about
like making them forced
reproduce.
to do these things.
No, you said they won't reproduce. So are you going to do something to stop them from reproducing? Ain't that harming the animal?
No, we're not. We don't have. We're not. They're not going to reproduce as much as they do as we cause them. Look, we are the ones causing them to reproduce in factories. Do you
Well,
understand that?
okay, well, look at it like this. If you put 1,000, you know, animals in a cage, male and female,
That's never
okay?
going to happen. What are you
Wait a minute.
talking about? That's never going to happen. We're not
Listen
doing
to me.
that.
If we put 1,000 animals, well, in a sanctuary, 1,000 animals, male and female.
That's not what we're going to do, though. That's not what's going to
So
happen.
how are we going to stop them from reproducing? Because 1,000 can bring in about another 1,000, right?
Okay, but we're not going to put 1,000 rabbits in a cage. That's ridiculous. That's absurd.
Well, I'm talking about a sanctuary. Or
Yeah,
even if you let
do
them
you know
run
what?
free. I mean,
A
do you know what wild
sanctuary is
hogs
not
do to
a
property?
sanctuary is not going to stuff all these animals in one cage. It's ridiculous. But worst comes to worst, I mean,
So they're not going to procreate.
there is something called birth control we can perhaps do, or things like that, or contraceptives. That's a possibility too. But again, you're going off this weird,
Well, that's not
impractical
natural.
scenario. That's never going to happen. Practically,
No,
we're
that's
going to
not
wean off of
natural.
animal agriculture. It's going to slowly dwindle. But again, you're not talking about the elephant in the room. What justifies slaughtering all these animals?
Like I said, that hogs destroy a lot of
No,
property.
sir,
Hogs.
sir. Listen, we are slaughtering 90 billion animals a year, right?
Okay. Well,
What
eventually you would have to
justifies
slaughter them
do?
if you
What
didn't eat them.
justifies do? Hold on. What justifies doing this? We are
You're not
harming them
going
for
to
no
admit
reason.
that they can procreate and have more animals and eventually get out of control.
I don't know why people don't absorb what I'm telling you. Do you not? How are we so disconnected to the animals? How are we
Hey, how
so
you doing?
disconnected from them? We don't see the pain and suffering we're causing them. These animals are suffering and torturing and being
What's up?
tortured.
How
No
you doing?
reason. Hey, what do you got for us today?
So I just wanted to read your debate. A vegan, can you justify eating animals? I don't feel like animals should be eaten. I feel like plants are
Great. So you're vegan?
the
So you're
source
vegan?
the source of everything.
Okay,
I
great.
mean,
So are you vegan?
yeah, I am. I am
Great. Thank you.
vegan.
Have a good day.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got for us today?
So, I am not a vegan. Let me just start by saying that. And I don't support being a vegan.
Great. What justifies harming all these animals?
Okay, so let me make a scenario for you, okay? Let's just say a scientist, right, made a device that could turn you into like a size of a cockroach, right? Like a tiny size. And then let's say a pig or a chicken or whatever come up to you, and at that point you can't really have like intellectual conversation with a chicken and be like, oh, I have a kids and wife, you know, I have this, I have that. Like, you're not gonna have that conversation with that chicken or pig because that pig is an animal. Only cares about eating and surviving.
Sir, how old are you?
I'm 19. I know I sound a little young,
Okay.
but
Okay. So I don't even understand what you just told me. Are you saying that because pigs don't speak English, we get to murder them and kill them? Is that your
no,
argument?
no, it's not that we
Okay.
don't understand their
So
language. It's not about
what justifies slaughtering all these pigs?
because they're not smart enough as us to know mercy and know about you know, having a daughter or having like they don't understand emotion. You know, they don't.
Okay,
They're just
great.
animals.
Does a baby understand emotion?
A little bit, like cries, and you know, if you laugh at it, you know, it's
So
gonna
do pigs.
cry.
So do pigs cry.
Yeah, but if you like, you know, be like, ooh, like you know, if you just like tickle him or whatever, like that animal, I mean, not gonna like show the same emotion as a human. You
Well,
know,
just so you, how about somebody who is emotionless? What if there's a person who's not who's emotionless? Would that be
I
okay to kill that person for food?
I never seen an emotionless baby.
Okay, well
Like
they exist. Do you think it's okay to kill a person because they don't feel emotion?
yeah, but a person would have some level of emotion in throughout their whole life.
No, this
And
person has no emotion. Would it be okay to kill that person?
no, that's not even a person, that's a robot.
Okay, so you think it's wrong to kill somebody with no emotion. So why do you think it's okay to kill an animal with no emotion, even though they do have emotions?
No, I'm saying there's not a single human in this earth on this earth that zero emotion, because
That's
that would be a
false.
robot.
They exist. They're mute people. They actually exist, right?
But that would
Look,
be a robot
you're
though,
not
right?
understanding the point. I know it's hard to grasp hypotheticals, but just listen, right? There, if there was a person with no emotion, you think it's wrong to kill that person. But then you use this justification for the animals. You said that if the animal has no emotion, we get to kill it. So there's a contradiction in your view. Do you see the
Yes, there is
contradiction?
a constant like okay, look, all I'm trying to say is that like you can't really compare a human to an animal.
What's
It's
the difference?
different.
We are animals, but what's the difference?
We're higher than animals,
In what way?
and we're smarter. We're uh, capable of
Okay.
understanding emotions,
Okay.
feeling, some
Okay,
level
great.
at least.
So what if, okay, great. So you're saying that it's okay to kill an animal because they're not as smart as us and they don't understand emotions. So what if there is a person
Hmm.
who was as intelligent as an animal, as a pig or a cow, and they didn't understand emotions?
Like a person with Down
Would it
syndrome
be
or
okay
something?
to kill that person?
No, because like you say, it's a person.
Right.
It's not an animal.
Right. You're saying, okay, great. So you agree that it's wrong to kill somebody, no matter who they are, animal or human,
Uh, Never said
even
animal,
though they're not
human.
smart, even though they're not smart and don't understand emotions. Great. So the last thing you said was you think it's wrong to kill a person because we're a person and we're not an animal.
That's true.
So, okay.
You see
Um,
my point or not really?
are you saying that because we're a species of human, that means we are okay, and that the animals are should be killed? Is that what you're saying? Because we're humans?
I mean, look, I know you kind of trying to make me sound like a bad guy. Like,
No, I'm asking you a valid question, sir. What justifies harming animals? Is it just because we're human? We're a species of ape.
because like let's put it like this. If you go like if you see a polar bear, right? You can't like even if that polar bear see you have babies, right? If you're helping the babies, he not gonna
Sir,
care about that you have babies.
sir, I understand that. I'm asking you a question. Can you answer?
Hmm.
If there was a person, I mean, what justifies killing animals? Is it just because we are human and they are not human?
That too, but it's about emotion. It's about intelligence. It's about, uh, you
All right,
know, not having
right. I just
mercy.
explained to you why. Look, he's not capable of debating. He's not tracking with what I said. People are underestimating the animals. Animals do understand emotion. They have emotions. They're intelligent. They understand their surroundings. They are aware. chickens, cows, pigs are all aware of their surroundings and they're intelligent. In fact, many are more intelligent than babies. So the problem is that you guys are assuming that, oh, they're just animals. They have no reason, they have no life or consciousness. No, they do. It's just you don't see it and understand them, right? So there's a disconnect between you and them. So my job is to show you that no, we are animals. We're just one type of animal, and simply us being a particular species, to me, is not a good enough justification to kill others. All right, let's get the next victim in here.
Hello,
Hi, how old are you?
21.
Great. And what's your argument?
I would say that you can justify eating animals because they were put here for us to eat.
And how do you know that?
Because the Bible told me.
Okay. Does the Bible say you have to kill other animals?
Doesn't say you have to,
Okay, great.
but it
So
says
then
the purpose
so
is
then
here.
do you also understand that animals suffer and die when you eat them?
How do you know that?
Because they cry, they scream, they yell, they run away.
But we don't speak animals, so what if that's like them being happy?
But we still understand their behaviors. They still don't want to die. They still cry and scream in gas chambers that you put them in, right? So do you think your God, who is compassionate, as you think, would want us to put animals in gas chambers? Or would he
Yes.
want us to just not kill them and eat plants instead, which is more compassionate?
Well, he did tell us that the animals were put here to be eaten, so
But they don't, but you just agreed that you don't have to eat them. So why do you do it if you know it causes them harm and suffering?
because I don't know what causes them harm and suffering, and neither do you. The pig didn't tell you that.
But we don't have to speak their language to know that they are suffering. We can look at their behaviors. We can see them cry. We can see them scream. We can see them run away. We can see them get anxious and be nervous. We can see their anxiety levels. We can see
How can we see my
animals
anxiety
are
levels?
very, very emotional and sentient. They're aware and conscious, just like we are. Why do you cause them to die? Why do you cause them to suffer so much?
Because that's what they're here for, and we don't know that they're actually in being harmed. We don't know.
Okay,
We
so
can't see
what
the
makes you
anxious
think
level. We can't see an emotion.
why would the animals be here for us? Why?
So that we can eat them.
But we don't have to eat them. We have plant-based foods and options that
Oh.
you don't have to eat the animals at all.
Yeah, just like you don't have to eat plant-based options either.
But it's
So
the
why
more
would we do
ethical option because it causes less suffering and harm.
Well, actually, plants have feelings as well. Believe it or not.
I don't believe it. In fact, there's studies that debunk this nonsense. Plants are not conscious. Plants do not have feelings. They don't have nervous systems or brains. Ma'am, hold on, just listen.
Sir.
Plants do not have brains. They don't have nervous systems. They don't have pain receptors. They don't have feelings. So there's no reason to think that they are crying when you cut a carrot. But more importantly, vegans kill less plants. So you're killing more plants and more animals for no reason.
But plants have feelings, right? Plants have
Okay,
plants
can you
have,
give me
can we
one
at least agree
scientific
that
source?
Okay.
Ma'am, can you give me one scientific source that demonstrates plants have feelings?
Can we just agree on one thing? Plants are alive, yes?
They're alive, but they're not sentient. That's the
Right.
difference.
So they are alive. So they do have feelings. To be alive,
No,
you
no,
have
no,
to
no, no,
be
no.
able to function.
Man,
You
are you
have
really
to
21? When were you born?
11/14/02. I know it's hard when you're getting your ass kicked in a debate by a
man, you're really
21-year-old when you're
Okay.
damn near touching 50, but
Okay. So plants don't actually have feelings, and just because you're alive doesn't mean you have feelings. Bacteria are
really?
alive, but do you think bacteria have feelings?
Yes.
Okay, well they don't. Bacteria don't have feelings.
Bacteria don't have feelings.
No, they don't have any nerve endings or sensory systems at all.
I also would like to touch on what you just said about just because humans are alive doesn't mean that we have feelings.
Man, look, you're not addressing what I'm telling you. You're just simply saying plants have feelings, but you're not actually engaging with the
You're
argument.
saying that humans also don't have feelings, so who's stupider?
I never said humans don't have
You do.
feelings. I
You
never said
literally
that.
just said some people also don't have feelings, which is complete and utter
There,
dumbassery.
there are some people that have brain damage, yes, that don't have feelings.
That is not.
Generally
People still
speaking,
have
yes.
feelings. With or without brain damage, you're still gonna have feelings.
No, emotions and things like that come from the brain. So if you have brain damage, it's clear
I
that
have brain damage, and I also do have feelings. I fell off a cliff and broke half my face, and I am.
Okay. Okay. Plants don't have feelings, and there's no reason to harm them, to harm animals. Hey, what do you got?
Hey, Mike, how you doing? Can you hear me?
I'm hanging in there. What do you got?
Yeah. So here's where I'm coming from, right? This is my background is actually working with a vegan. She had to have surgery on her heart.
No. You're not going to do this, right? You're
No,
not gonna
listen.
give anecdotal stories. I want an
Oh,
actual.
you're not going to do that. You don't.
Sir. I want an actual argument that justifies harming animals. I don't care about a friend you had that was vegan and they had allergies. I don't care about that because the data demonstrates vegans can be very healthy. This is not just me talking. This is doctors and nutritionists around the world. The position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics is that vegans can be healthy. I want actual arguments that demonstrate your justification for harming animals that don't need to be harmed. Do you have that? Where's my source? The position of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. That's the source. It's a peer-reviewed study which demonstrates.
But we can also go to other sources that say opposite, right? Everything on the internet can be confirmed. Stop running your mouth. Let me talk.
Give me one source then. You can say that you have a source, but can you demonstrate your source? That
human people, human knowledge, humans that I know personally.
That's not a source.
That's not a source?
No. A source is a peer-reviewed data set.
So when you have a doctor that says, because you're vegan, your heart muscle is weak. Because you're vegan, your muscles in your body are weak.
There is no evidence that being vegan means your heart's weak. In fact, the opposite is true.
Yes, it is.
Have more meat eaters.
No, because you have...
Sir, meat eaters typically have more risk of heart attack and stroke. But more importantly, that's irrelevant.
It comes down to how you cook the meat.
No. What's relevant here is the ethics.
It does.
No, you're not engaging, sir. You're not really listening to what I'm saying. What is relevant?
So the ethic of you want to go with the.
Veganism is only about the ethics. It's about not harming animals. It's about taking into consideration the animals. It's not about diet. Veganism is not a diet. It's an ethical stance. Okay. If you want to debate diet, debate a nutritionist. Okay. You're going to lose, but go ahead, debate them. But more importantly, we're talking about ethics here. You are slaughtering animals for no good reason. What justifies that? Go. What's your justification morally? You're muted, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Quit muting me.
Well, get to the argument, though. Then get to the argument.
So number one, just like the previous caller said, in the Bible, it was specified that animals were put here for our health.
Okay, the Bible also says...
Stop. Shut your fucking mouth. And listen.
The Bible also says that donkeys can talk, right? The Bible's not a reliable source either, okay? But more importantly, even if you believe in a compassionate God who said you can eat animals, well, that doesn't mean you should or could or you must. What it means is some guy in a book said something and you believe it. That's all it means. But more importantly, the animals don't need to die, even by your own religious texts. It never says you have to harm an animal. What it says is you can. But why should you? Why must you if you don't have to? That's what I'm talking about. And that's what you're not engaging with at all. You know, there's a vast disconnect between us and the animals. I don't know why people don't understand that you're harming them for no reason.
So why do you think that you're morally better than anybody that does this? Why can you claim that?
Well, in my particular stance is better, I think, because we are causing way less suffering and harm.
You think?
Yeah, because we're causing way less suffering and harm to the animals. So what justifies harming them?
So would you say that you're in favor of banning like cattle ownership and such?
Yeah, I'm against owning an animal where you don't own somebody. I don't own anybody. We're not slave masters, right? But more importantly, what justifies you killing and slaughtering billions of animals per year?
Because I can.
Oh, so your entire ethical framework is hinged upon the notion that you can do something.
Absolutely.
So, can you rape?
Yep.
Do you think it's okay to rape?
No.
Okay, great. Now your ethical framework collapses because
because I still see no moral.
You should do something. So
there's no moral dilemma for me,
sir. What justifies harming animals? I know you can harm them,
right?
But what justifies doing that when you think it's wrong to harm people?
I didn't say it was wrong to harm people in certain instances.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to take a person and put them in a cage and eat their body parts?
That seems a little bit far-fetched in terms of an argument. You're taking all these.
This is what you do to the animals.
All these grand and
this is what you do to the animals, right? This is what you do to the animals.
And then you want to talk over everybody.
Well, you're not engaging. What justifies harming animals?
Well, a framework for an argument so that you can just debate however you want and seem morally superior. That's all you're doing.
Can you answer the question?
What question? You asked me like 6 questions already.
Can you answer one of them?
I answer lots.
So what's your justification for harming animals when you don't have to?
Food, sources of protein.
Okay, but you can get protein from
hunting, overpopulation.
Right, but you can get protein from plants.
Wildlife management.
But you can wildlife management by being vegan. That's the best wildlife management because vegans
overpopulation in deer.
Vegans, well, okay. But again, deer population is caused by us, our activities that we can solve. The root of the problem of overpopulation of deer is not that we're not hunting enough. It's that
no, it actually is because we're not hunting enough.
The cause is that we are causing urban development too much, and it's causing a lot of deer to populate in certain areas. But that's besides the
now
main point.
We're morally wrong for populating the earth.
Well, in a way, there are good ways to populate the earth and there are bad ways to do it, right? That's a whole different story, though. The main point here is you are causing an excess amount of harm by eating animals that you don't have to eat.
I am absolutely not. I'm full within my moral and legal rights to do so.
I know you have the right to do it, but the morality aspect of it, I think,
justified
is
why I can eat animals.
What
you just don't like the fact that people do.
Okay, no, I think, well, the animals don't like it, right? Because you're harming them, right? Like, do you think it's okay to smack a dog in the face?
Harm each other in much more brutal ways than any human might ever.
I understand that, but we don't have to partake in that.
Over that.
Look, we don't have to partake in the suffering of the animals. But why are you doing this, right? Do you think it's wrong to smack a dog in the face?
It depends on the dog's behavior.
Wow. So you think it's okay for me to, if the dog's barking, to go up to it and go smack and stop? You think that's okay?
Well, let's just say, for instance, a dog approaches your child and is snapping at your child. Would you not smack the dog? Oh, wait, now you don't like the fact that I'm doing the same thing to you, though.
I'm not talking
I've
about
said this grand, absurd thing
Sir, please. I'm not talking
Sir,
about
please.
defense. I'm talking about going up to a random dog who's not harming you and
That's
just
not what
smack
we
it across
talked
the
about.
face.
You're just changing it all together.
Okay, great. So do you
You
think
cannot
it's
stick to
wrong,
one single point.
sir? Do you think it's okay to
Sir?
harm or smack a dog in the face who's innocent?
No, it's not. It's not justified in that instance.
Great. Do you think
Great.
cows are innocent?
Cows are cows.
Sir, please be honest here.
I was literally honest with you. I have literally
Sir,
slaughtered a cow
please
myself.
listen. Please listen. Are cows innocent?
Cows are cows. They are neither innocent nor guilty. They're
Sir,
put here for sustenance.
sir, if I look at a cow and it's just minding its own business, is that an innocent cow?
Cows are just a form of property and
Sir,
to be eaten and
can
consumed.
you
We
please
can make leather
answer the
out of them.
question honestly?
I've literally answered how
Our cows are innocent, guys. Cows have done nothing wrong to us. They're just animals, just like dogs are innocent. Dogs and cows are equally the same in this way. They're innocent, okay? So, I'm going to ask you another question here. If you agree that it's wrong to harm an innocent dog, why is it okay to harm an innocent cow? Can you answer that question?
I can't answer any question when you decide to mute people because you're losing the argument.
Okay, so you're not going to answer the question.
You're like, hey, give me an honest answer. And literally, I've given you an honest answer 12 different
times. Okay, are cows innocent?
Cows are neither innocent nor guilty. Cows are
What
cows.
does that even mean? Cows, what does that mean?
How can you claim a cow is innocent just the same? I'm going to ask you the same question.
Okay,
I've answered your question. I don't think cows are neither innocent or guilty. I think you're an idiot for
Okay,
thinking
so why are cows different than dogs in that sense?
Dogs are domesticated. People have
So are
different
cows.
animals.
So are cows.
Right. I didn't claim it made any sense. I just said that people think more about dogs and cats than they do cows or horses.
So you can see that you're not making any sense, and then you think you're winning the argument.
No, I've already won the argument.
You won it by saying it doesn't make sense. That's not winning.
I'm saying that your argument doesn't make sense. That animals are innocent.
Can you answer the question honestly for the last time? Are cows innocent beings?
Can you answer a question that you
have a good day? You're not being honest, guys. I know you want to come up here and defeat the vegan because you think I'm the bad guy here, but just listen to me. I'm not a bad guy. So stop trying to defeat me. You're not going to do it. Your arguments are bad. And I'm showing you why they're bad. But you're not listening to me honestly. You're not engaging with me honestly because you just want to defeat the vegan and win the day. It's never going to happen. Cows are innocent, just like dogs. Cows are loving, amazing, intelligent beings, just like dogs. We all say we love dogs. We all say we love animals, so let's do it. Let's actually act that way. Cows are innocent beings. There's no reason to harm them. So that's why I'm vegan, because I don't want to harm them at all. Just like I don't want to harm a dog who's innocent. This isn't brain surgery.
Hello.
Hey, what's your argument today?
Hey, I'm a vegan too. I'm just here to support you, man. Because I have the same issues when I do activism. And I just want you to know that you are proving a point, and a lot of people are just mad because you're right.
I understand your perspectives. I used to eat meat too. I used to eat animal products, and I understand where you guys are coming from. I used to think the vegans are crazy and bad and skinny. You're the skinny vegan. But now I recognize that those arguments are bad. In actuality, you don't have to harm animals. It's just cognitive dissonance that you're experiencing because you don't want to change, and that's okay. But I'm here to at least bring these issues to the table and make you understand that there is something worthwhile here debating.
Hello.
Hey, what do you got for us today?
Beef tastes good.
Okay, but is it okay to harm somebody just because they taste good?
It depends.
Okay, so what if a person tasted good? Would it be okay to kill a person for their taste?
No, it's a person.
Okay, great. So why is it okay to kill a cow but not a person for their
Because
taste?
it's a cow.
Okay, great. So what about the cows makes it morally justified to kill the cow but not the person?
Because it's a cow. It's
Okay,
food.
so what qualities, what characteristics make it
Fat as
such that
hell.
you get to kill?
Good.
It's fat?
It's fat and good.
Okay, so what if there is a fat person? Who tasted good?
I don't like fat people.
Okay, great. But so why do you like fat cows?
Because they're food and they're good on the grill.
Okay, great. So why are cows food but not people?
Because it's people. I'm not in the cartel. I mean, I don't eat people.
What's
I
the
eat
moral?
cows.
What's the moral difference?
Piggies.
What's the morally relevant difference between
Because
cows
it's a
and people?
cow. It's an animal.
So are we.
So? Well, we're more
There's no
intelligent. I can't
difference.
go out and
There's
eat a
no
human
difference.
being.
What's the difference?
It's a fucking animal.
We are animals too.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are. Humans
I
are
don't-
animals. We're Homo sapiens. We're a type of ape. Great ape.
Guess what? Cows are still good. I can't eat a human.
All right. Well, have a good day, sir. There's no talking to someone like that, right? They're not honestly engaging with anything.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's your argument today?
So, why can animals eat animals, but why can't we eat animals? So, can you explain that to me?
Sure. Animals don't have stores. We do.
I'm confused. What do you mean by that?
We have options. We have the ability to buy plant-based foods.
But
The
don't
animals in the
but
wild
don't you
don't.
think animals have options too? I mean,
No,
if
they
an
have
animal
to
eats
eat
animal, you
first.
don't think they should have options?
Animals in the wild eat for necessity. They eat for survival, right? They
Well,
don't
we
have
do the
stores
same
to
thing,
go
don't
to.
we? We kind of do the
No.
same thing.
Well, we have to survive, sure, but we have more options than the animals do. That's the point.
Okay, so what do you think of cavemen back in the day? Like they had to like live off meat, like, you know.
Yeah, we're no longer cavemen. We now have stores.
Okay,
We
but
have
what if
food.
people don't like vegetables? Tell me that. What if nobody wants to eat vegetables?
Well,
Because I don't think no one's going to. I don't think no one's going to eat vegetables their whole life.
I never said you have to. You can be vegan and not eat any vegetables. There are many vegan foods that are not vegetables. Pastas, beans, rice, all kinds of things.
Okay, if it's so bad, to eat animals, why is it not against the law? If it's
Well,
like so bad.
you're right. It should be against the law according to, ethically speaking, but back then it was legally right to own a person as a slave. But
I
we
mean, listen, that's a human.
but
That's
our
a human.
ethics slowly drove the change in the law.
Yeah, but that's a human though. It's not the same thing. I mean, a human is an animal, but it's not the exact same thing as as a cow. I
I
don't see
agree.
how you say
I
it's the same
agree.
thing.
I agree. There are some differences, but where it matters morally, there are no real differences between us and cows. We're different. Cows moo, we don't moo much, right? Cows eat grass, we don't eat grass. There are differences in that way, but that's not morally relevant to the
But cows
conversation.
are meant to be outside. Humans are
What
meant to be inside.
in the ways we are similar are the ways in which we have sentience,
Yeah.
compassion, love, emotions, the want to survive and live and thrive, families. We are in those ways the same. And that's why I'm vegan, because I don't want to harm an animal, because we don't have to harm anybody.
So what if an animal attacks a human? What do? Do you just let the animal kill you?
No, just because I'm vegan doesn't mean I'm Ace Ventura. It means that I still will protect myself for sure. But for the
So
instances where I can make a choice, where I do have options, we ought to change and make the better option.
I mean, don't you think animals will like? I don't know how to explain this well, but will animals go extinct eventually? You think? Is that what you think? Like you expect them?
If we keep eating animals, yes, they're going to go extinct. If we keep killing them and slaughtering them in factories, yes.
Why do you think eating meat's bad? Like, did you used to eat meat a while ago? And what made
Yes,
you want to change your mind?
I did, but then I realized that it's not just meat. There's a somebody behind that meat, right?
What do you
Your
mean by that?
body, an animal's body parts, their legs, their thighs, their breasts. You're eating an animal somebody who once was living and didn't have to die. And to me, I think life is precious. I love life. I don't want to take it away from somebody if I don't have to, especially. That's why I'm vegan.
I mean, I feel like a human is not the same thing as a cow. I just don't know how to explain it well to you. I mean, a human, we have stuff to do as humans, but cows, all you do is sit outside in the field, and that's not a good life. Sitting outside in the field, sitting outside in a
So
cage,
they understand. But look, I agree that we have different lifestyles,
Yeah.
but they still have lives. They still have experiences that they want and they enjoy.
But if you let a cow live, it'll get eaten eventually, though.
It'll what?
So if you let a cow live and you don't eat it, eventually that cow will get eaten by something else. So
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, in the wild, you can't stop all death and suffering. Of course not. But the problem is, you are causing an excess amount of suffering by putting them in factories and enslaving them, right? The point is that we as people around the world are causing so much more harm than is necessary. And that's another reason why it's wrong for me.
I don't think it's okay on a human to eat a human, but that's cannibalism, so that's not the same thing. Eating animals is not cannibalism. That's not. That's just eating an animal.
I agree, but where it is the same is again the sentience. Animals. I don't want to harm an animal for the same reason I don't want to harm a person, because in the same way, in the ways we are same, is in terms of our sentience, our experience as living sentient beings.
So let's say if I was the only guy on the planet and an animal was next to me, you would not eat that animal if you had to live. You would not eat it.
I would.
You would.
I would, but we're not in that situation, right?
No, I'm just saying for that type of situation, like you saying you would, but you still support the animals, but you would kill them if you have to.
Yes, because my morality depends on the situation I'm in, right? If I'm in a situation where I can stop something, I'll stop it. If I can't, I can't. My morality shifts and adapts according to the situation. But the situation we're in right now is one in which we have the option to change, so we should.
So let's say if we did eat vegetables, I don't think that'd be a good idea because eventually vegetables will not have that much left on the planet, and if that's all we ate, I don't think humans can be like that.
That's not what veganism means. Veganism doesn't mean you only eat vegetables. There's tons of plant-based foods out there, tons of variety of plant-based foods. But more importantly, we are already destroying most of the land in the world for animals. 75% of all crops are grown for animals. Why? Because they have to eat something to survive. We have to breathe them into existence. We're wasting so much food on these poor animals when that food could have gone to us. So, in fact, if you're against wasting food, go vegan.
So, do you think it's okay? Do you think it's okay on a lion to eat a human? You think that's okay? So you think a lion, an animal, can eat us, but we can't eat them?
A lion? No, I think it's wrong for a lion to eat a person if they didn't have to. But a lion doesn't have the same cognitive abilities as a
But
human.
sometimes we have to. I mean, if that's the only option we have, it's the same thing. Sometimes we have to eat them.
Hold on. A lion has a much more instinct when it comes to it. They're gonna they don't have the same social understanding that we do. But that's not remotely analogous to the situation we are in, right? We're in a situation where we have the ability to understand what we're consuming, so we shouldn't do that.
I mean, what if people don't like? What if someone's not? What if let's say if someone doesn't want to be a vegetarian, let's say that. Let's say if someone only wants to eat meat, it's like someone's picky eating food and they don't want to eat vegetables,
Well, you don't have to eat again. You don't have to eat vegetables as a vegan, but I can assure you there are thousands of vegetables that are tasty and delicious. I guarantee you haven't tried them all.
But many people might not think that.
Okay, well, it's up to the morality to recognize what's a bigger sacrifice: your taste buds, 5 minutes of taste pleasure, or an entire animal's life.
So with that last guy, you guys was debating about a dog, why is it okay to eat a dog if it's not okay to eat a cow? You were saying stuff like that in the last live with that guy. So I have a couple questions about that. So a dog is not the same thing because a dog's with a human and you can live with a dog. A cow you can't live with. And a dog is
sure you can. Cows are.
You can put a cow in the house. Is that what you're telling me?
There are lots of work, but yes, many people have cows as pets and pigs.
I think they have them as pets, but then they eat them, I think.
Yeah, I think that's wrong. What's your point? It's wrong to eat animals.
So what's the point of eating? What's the point of having a cow for a pet than eat them? You telling me people have cows they have cows for pets, but if they do, they still eat them. So how is that having something on the pet as a pet?
I don't see how this is relevant. I think it's wrong to eat an animal. Period.
So how can you live with a cow? So you're telling me you can have a cow as a pet. So how can you live with a cow?
You can live with a cow just like you live with a dog.
Tell me how you can live with a cow. Please tell me. I would love to know.
People have cows in their backyards. They have cows sometimes living in their homes or barns. All kinds of people have pet cows and pigs. There's no reason to harm them, though. You guys are making it more harder for yourselves than you have to because you're just so determined to, vegans are bad, vegan stupid, vegan bad, right? And I understand where you're coming from, but open up your mind a bit and recognize what you're doing, at least, right? At least be honest and recognize that what you're doing is unjustified. But I completely understand your want to defeat the vegan.
Yo, what's up?
Hey, what's your argument today?
Yo.
Hey, how are you?
I think it's too much to think that we not supposed to wear leather and furs and shit. You feel me? I'm gonna wear my leather and my fur. I ain't gotta eat the animal, but
I
I'm
think
wearing
it's
my
too
leather
much.
and my
I,
fur.
I, I think it's
So
too
they
much.
gotta get killed for leather.
His Wi-Fi was off. It was echoing. I think it's too much to take an animal's skin off and for your pleasure. I think that's too much. I think it's too much to stuff an animal in a gas chamber or stuff them in cages where they can't breathe, they can't move, they're sitting in their own feces. I think that's too much. Yeah. And if there was a person who we took their skin off to, mold it onto our bodies to be fashionable, I guarantee you people would all think that's terrible and disgusting. But why do we think it's okay to take the skin off of an animal when there's really no difference between us? And that's the point of this life, right? Imagine if I took your hair off.
Okay.
That'd be
I
crazy.
I want to preference this by starting off. I'm not anti-vegan. I was actually vegetarian for 4 years. Oh, do I need to give my age by the way or no? I'm 18. I was born in 2005. I was vegetarian for 4 years because I saw a video online about, how cows and everything were slaughtered, and it really hurt me. But the reason I stopped being vegetarian was because already I have a very high fast metabolism, and so I can never exceed over 100 pounds. And I noticed within the span of the 4 years, I tried doing different things, right? Like I tried eating.
Ma'am, look, I understand you're coming here and you're trying to talk about your story, but your story is your story. It's not relevant to discussion because I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor, and I can't help you. You
Well,
don't.
I'm just
There's
wondering.
nothing about being vegan which means you have to, be, your diet has to be perfect.
Well,
Everybody's different, but
the reason I'm just saying is because the reason I have to eat meat is so I can, because I lost a lot of weight. At some point I was 80 pounds, and I remember I
okay,
would
great.
get like very
There
dizzy.
are
So
ways to be a vegan and be overweight. There are ways to be vegan and eat lots of fat.
yeah, but I've tried that. I've done a lot of protein. I've tried eating a lot of meat alternatives, and so ultimately
Okay,
being
great.
vegan
So
or
that's a
vegetarian is not for
discussion you have with your doctor, right? That's
But
something I
then,
cannot help you with, right? Um, and I understand there are people out there who, have different body types and different medical reasons. But generally speaking, being vegan is something that anybody can be because it's not a diet. It's about taking a stance against cruelty as much as you can. It's not perfect.
Wait, are you just debating people who are against vegans, or?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not against vegans, but I was just responding to the question behind you. Can you justify eating animals? And for me, it would come to my own personal ethics, I guess. I have no qualms going in my backyard and killing my chicken and eating it. Like, so for me, that's justification. Just more, I have it, I like it.
Yeah, well, all you're saying is I just want to do it, so it justifies, right? That's not a justification. You're just saying I like to do it. I like to, kill chickens. I think that's ridiculous. You would never say that about a person. Oh, I like to go out to my backyard and snap people's necks open. Ah, yeah, like that's ridiculous, right? The point here is there's no
I don't equate a
there's no
chicken
morally
to a human.
relevant difference between us and chickens.
Yeah,
What's the
there is.
morally relevant difference? Hello?
Hmm. No, I'm sorry. I'm thinking. I'm also
Oh, okay.
smoking some greens, so I'm not one of those that'll immediately reply to you because I listen to what you say and I'm trying to think of my reply. So, what's the difference between a human and a chicken, right? I guess.
What's the morally relevant difference? I know there are
Morally.
differences, but what's the morally relevant one?
I guess. I mean, right away, what points out to me is the obvious intellectual difference.
Okay.
And I
so
know a
you're
little
saying-
bit biology, so like,
Right.
chickens feel pain, but if you
they
think
do feel pain, yes.
feel the same exact like we do, it's not quite the same.
Oh, okay, but they still feel pain and they still don't want to feel pain. So your main point was that we're more smarter than the chickens, right? We are more intelligent, so
Yeah,
therefore we
but
get
just
to kill
because
them.
they feel pain, that doesn't remove my justification for eating a chicken. Yeah, they feel pain.
Okay.
I need to save money.
Let's get back to the intelligence thing, right? So you're saying that
pain, like, how does that ruin my justification for it?
hold on, let's attack one at a time. Let's not skip ahead. You said that chickens are less intelligent than we are, and I agree, generally speaking, it's true. But what if there was a person who was just as intelligent as a chicken? Let's say they were mentally handicapped or mentally disabled. Would you think it's okay to kill that person and eat their body parts?
Well, if you could come up with one example of that, where that's the case.
A mentally disabled person who can't.
It would be impossible for a human born any kind of mental capacity to have the same level of intelligence as a chicken. They're physiologically
about?
it's
Pigs,
just an impossibility. What you
for
just
example,
described
pigs
is a
are
real
as
impossibility.
Hold on, pigs, for example, actually are more intelligent than human babies, right? So, what if there was a human baby or
I
a
agree
disabled
with you
person
there.
who was the same
you switched
intelligence as a
pieces
chicken or pig?
Huh?
You're not listening.
No, go ahead. I missed it.
What
My bad.
there was a person who had the same intelligence as a chicken or a pig? Would that be okay to kill that person? This is a basic hypothetical.
You're basing the justification of me eating the chicken off of a fake ass hypothetical?
It's not a fake ass hypothetical.
It
It's
is a
a
fake.
logical, valid
It's
thing,
not a
Sarah.
hypothetical that could
We're
ever be
talking about-
possible. Like you're trying to say it's possible for a mentally handicapped but no, even a mentally handicapped person to the most severe degree
Okay,
will
great.
be more
So
intelligent.
then, okay, great. So, what is the one trait that mentally disabled people have that chickens don't? That makes them much more intelligent.
Well, let's see. What makes a person, even a mentally handicapped one? Of course, the fact that you're equating
Take your time.
I mean, no, these are great philosophical questions for sure. But
They
can you
are.
And right now, I justified eating animals. Now you're trying to get me to justify not killing a human.
No, I'm just asking you,
I
what's
won't
the
kill a
morally
human.
relevant? Look, there is a specific reason why you think it's okay to kill a chicken or a pig, and I'm asking you, what's that reason? I'm trying to gauge where that reason is. That's the crux of this argument here, and you have a hard time pointing out the difference. This is why I'm vegan, because I
more of
recognize
a
this
putting
logic.
it into words. Like there's an obvious, blatant difference. Like you can't tell me you don't know just right away. There's difference between a mentally handicapped person and a chicken.
There is no difference morally at all. There's no difference.
Or maybe I'm biased because it's a human then. There's my reasoning. I'm biased towards the human.
Yes, I agree. We are biased towards humans. And that's why I'm vegan, because I recognize a bias and I change my ethical framework.
So I'm curious.
I think it's wrong to be biased and especially when it comes to being a victim involved.
Yeah. Can I pose a question?
Go ahead.
So, if I'm to understand your position, you think humans and animals are equal.
No, we are morally speaking, we have the same value because we're both sentient, conscious, aware, don't want to die, don't have to die. But in terms of all other aspects, no, there are many differences between us and animals, but where it matters, there are none.
Gotcha. So I guess the death of a chicken is equally as horrific as the death of a human?
I would say morally, yes.
Gotcha. So if that were the case, like I know if I found out down the road there was a building butchering people, I would be wanting to rally a group of people up and burn it down. Why don't vegans actually do that if they truly believe that?
Well, because it's against the law and we go to jail. But more importantly, that's not how you.
Well, I can
That's
assure
not
you,
good
if it was
activism.
against
That's
the
not
law
good activism. Good
go
activism
after
is
an
hold on.
organization,
Good activism is
I would
debating,
still try.
talking, conversing. This is my activism, right? So that's what I'm doing because we are compassionate beings. So we're not going to go around and be harmful. That's what maybe you would do, but not me, right? I don't want to
Right.
harm anybody if I don't have to. So
But I guess how do we know you're more right than me?
that's us. That's up to us to judge. We judge ourselves. And to me, throughout history, we've had all kinds of atrocious moral frameworks that we have since learned to go away from.
Yeah.
And this change in morality always comes with understanding each other as people, who we are as people and animals. So I think that it's just natural that as we learn more about each other, that our ethics will follow and laws will follow from that.
So does that mean then, like with that stated, it depends on who you are. So that means I do in fact have a justification for eating chicken, just my own side.
No, you just have an opinion. You just think it's okay to do it, and I understand that, but you still haven't justified in contrast to your other views on your within your ethical framework. For example, you think it's wrong to eat a person, right?
Correct.
Great, and you think it's okay to eat a cow. So there's a contradiction there. If you can't point out the moral difference, then there's a contradiction in your framework.
Well, certainly the intellect, when you're talking like a generic person or human in general, and I am generalizing, of course,
But I already explained this to you. This is where we went before.
Yeah,
if
you're going to
a
bring up
person with the same intelligence level as an animal, what would you do? Would you think it's okay to kill a person? No, right?
No.
Great. So then you're stuck at this point.
I suppose, like, do you believe people have souls?
I don't know what a soul is, and I don't have any evidence for it.
Me neither. I'm actually more agnostic, but sometimes I feel like there might be, something.
Okay, great. So what's your last argument before I go to the next guy?
I guess my point was like, I guess humans have like souls. A cow, a cow's just a cow.
Yeah, I clearly disagree. There's no evidence of a soul, and even if that was true, let's say humans had souls, but animals did not have souls. What if tomorrow we found out that we actually didn't have souls and that we are just animals like the others?
Mm-hmm.
Would you think it's then okay to kill people and murder people?
People didn't have souls? No, I guess not.
Exactly. So it's irrelevant too. That's irrelevant as well.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Now, I guess what puts and then here's a question. Then what's the real difference between a tree and a chicken?
A tree is not sentient. A chicken is.
You're very wrong on that. I mean, you can Google it right now.
You're not going to go this route again. Plants are not sentient.
Watch Magical Fungi. It's a documentary on Netflix. It covers in depth how the trees connect to this fungi. I can't remember the name of it.
It does not equate to sentience. Look, I understand plants are capable of producing electrochemical
And they're
signals.
able to communicate and
But
know
that
their
is not the
what
same
makes
as. Hold
what
on.
makes the chicken sentient.
Hold on. Simply being able to exchange electrochemical signals does not equate to sentience. Sentience requires a specific arrangement of neurochemistry. It requires a specific type of cell, a receptor, or pain receptors. Those are not present in plants at all. They don't have nervous systems. They don't have neural networks. They have no capability, as far as we can see, as for them having sentience. And furthermore, there is a great study called Debunking a Myth of Plant Consciousness, which goes step by step debunking each one of these claims from these plant conscious people.
Gotcha.
I think you have a big challenge ahead of you if you want to go
Is
this
there a
route.
source I can look up on that?
What?
What's the source on that?
The title of the study is called Debunking a Myth of Plant Consciousness. And I would suggest you look it up and also acknowledge that even if plants were sentient, vegans are still in the green because we kill less plants. We do better for the environment. We do better for the animals and the plants. We do better for everybody.
That's the argument. You kill less.
Absolutely.
Huh. I don't know. What's your justification for eating a carrot then? Or
it's not sentient, and I have to eat something to survive. And so
a chicken
far,
is not
as I can
sentient.
see, there's no harm in eating a carrot. It's not crying. It's not screaming.
A chicken isn't sentient though. There's no. A chicken is not sentient.
They absolutely are sentient. Chickens are very intelligent birds. They're extremely smart. They're extremely compassionate. They have lots of sentience. It would be madness to dismiss this. All right, sir. Well, have a good day. I'm going to get the next victim, but thanks for being here. Appreciate you. Keep tapping, guys, and please subscribe to my YouTube, where I have all my debates there for you guys to see. I have a lot of videos about science, veganism. If you guys are interested, please take a look.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good.
Hey, what do you got for us today?
Let me ask you one question. How many animals were killed in the barrel field by the farmer?
How many animals were what?
Were killed in the field by the farmer.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about crop deaths.
Crop deaths, yeah. Pretty
Most,
much.
way less than the animal eaters kill, because most crops are grown for animals. 75% are grown for animals. So if you're talking about veganic deaths, way less for any vegan versus a meat eater, by far.
Okay, I acknowledge on that. I acknowledge to your point. Okay, you're right. I have another questions to you. So if we don't kill an animals, how do the world will make accommodation in terms of population? I think the world will not gonna adjust the population.
No, population could be sustained with plants only. There's no need to eat animal products. But this is not a Q&A, this is a debate, right? So do you have any actual arguments?
I do not. Actually, I do not.
Okay, have a good day. Yes, Priscilla, thank you. It's Priscilla. Appreciate you not eating animal products. Thank you. Animals are friends, not food. Hello?
Hello.
Hey, what do you have for us today? Okay, guess he's gone. Next. We have lots of guests today, guys. I don't know if we're going to get through all you guys, but I'll go try to be as fast as I can. Hello? Vegetarian since 14, vegan at 20. Great, good for you. I appreciate all the vegans in here, and I appreciate all the support. Everyone get him to 100K. Yeah, that'd be great.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Hi. I am a meat eater, but I'm not trying to tell you what you're doing is wrong. I actually kind of agree with you.
Okay, and why are you not vegan though? Do you have an argument?
Well, I don't know how to. No, I'm not going to tell you. I've tried to be a vegan. I have. I'll admit it. I have, and I think animals are sentient. Sentient. I think they have feelings, and they
Okay.
care. They're smart. I have a chicken that gets out. She asks me every day when I get home from work to put her back in the pen with the rest of the chickens.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
totally agree with you on this. But at the same time, I think that we all have, like you brought up lions. Lions eat gazelles and other animals,
Okay.
And I think that humans, we eat animals too, and it would be hard to eat another human being. I'm gonna tell you, I don't like humans very well. I want to admit to.
Okay. Let's get the next person here.
Hello.
Hey, how old are you?
I'm 15 years old, but I'm not here. I'm not here to talk trash.
Vegans cause less climate change by far. We save less. We use less greenhouse gas emissions.
My man, Mike. Can you hear me?
We hear you.
Are you related to? Are you sure you're not related to Ben Shapiro? You know Ben Shapiro? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you have an argument now, or you have just
Yes.
comedy?
No, it's not comedy, man. It's not comedy. Let me ask you something. I wish you were having this debate with, Neanderthals and asked them questions as to why they did those things. Why they had to eat meat.
That's irrelevant. I know we are not cavemen anymore.
Right.
Cavemen
I understand.
are a different subject. We're talking about people today. What
why did God,
justifies harming animals today?
and well, I mean, why did God, ask for animal sacrifice? Why did he want animal sacrifice?
God doesn't exist. But go ahead and give us an
Oh, okay,
argument for why you should slaughter animals when you don't have to.
Okay, uh, talking about vegans and meat lovers and all that stuff like that, but uh, I would love to try plant-based foods. I've never tried them, but if the vegans are against killing of animals or how that they're trying to uh, uh, why do they make plant-based hamburgers, something that's going to taste like bacon? Why do they make hamburgers taste like hamburgers and meat?
Because people like the way
Pork
things
chop,
taste. Look,
well, that's what
people
I'm saying. Why do they want to continue tasting that, that nature of the
because we
beast
like the way it tastes. But if we can get something that tastes good and it does not cause harm, then that's the key, right? You're causing harm for no reason. When we could, by your own concession, we have vegan foods that taste as good as bacon and
I
stuff.
would
So
I
why
would
are you
love
not
to I
vegan?
would
What
love to go
justifies
to
harming and slaughtering animals that you don't have to?
I agree with you that animals don't need to be,
So
processed.
what justifies doing it?
I'm just saying it's the nature of the beast.
It's
That's
not
what
the
I'm
nature
saying.
of the beast. We are not beasts. We don't have to follow our
But you said we
beastly
were
nature.
animals, buddy. We said we're animals. But
But we
okay,
are civilized animals, and we have choices as
right.
human animals. There's no reason to harm anybody.
You're right. I mean, you're absolutely right.
Okay,
I mean,
great.
I'm a spiritual person, and
All right, I can't. Next, I'm not trying to be rude here, but come on.
Yeah, so I don't think I really have a justification, but I want to understand your reasoning as to why we shouldn't eat meat.
Because meat is the body of somebody who died. It didn't have to die. It didn't have to suffer, right? I want to preserve life. I don't want to harm it. I want to preserve and cherish life. I love life. I love my freedom. So why would I take away the freedom of other animals just for the way their body tastes? I think it's wrong.
Okay. What is your feeling on people that do eat meat?
They're wrong. What's your argument today?
No, I don't have an argument. I'm just trying to understand like your stance on it.
Okay. Well, if you want to understand veganism, learn about it. The best thing you can do is learn. Understand who animals are. Understand where your animal food comes from. Understand where your any food comes from. Learn about the system of food that we have today.
What's
Learn
up,
about
bro?
the environment.
I'm a sociopath. I'm diagnosed, so I don't feel empathy.
Yo, so justify. So when you're saying eating meat is wrong, all so I'm English in my first language, but all the stuff that you eat, even if you're a vegan, don't the animals and insects die because of it?
Yeah, I hear this argument a lot. People will say, "Well, you kill animals too. You kill insects. How about all the bees and the insects?" Um, First of all, most of the crops that you kill are for the animals, not for vegan foods. Most animals that die in crop fields are for animals the ones that you kill. But secondly, there is an aspect of being vegan that cares about intention. I do not intend to harm any of those animals in the crop fields. Crop fields are things that we need to survive. If we don't have crop fields, we die. So, to me, protecting our crops with pesticides and fencing and things like that, and farmers, I think that's justified because we have to eat something to survive. And when I go to the store, I'm not intending to kill any animals. It's just a biological necessity. So I think that's the two main reasons why this argument fails.
So you're basically saying that there's gonna be like an amount of deaths anyway, so might as well. So if
Well,
someone was
it's as current system stands, there are some deaths that are necessary for us to grow crops, you know. But eventually that will change, and hopefully we'll have vertical farming and all kinds of technology that will enable us no deaths at all.
So if someone's choice is, so I agree with the vegan to an extent, but I feel like it can be someone's choice at the end of the day. But do you agree with that?
Sure, it is our choice. It's your choice to grape. It's your choice to murder too. But it's about making the right choices.
But don't you think that humans and animals are different?
Absolutely, we're different. But where we are the same is all that matters. That's all that matters is where we are morally the same in that sense that we are sentient, we're both conscious, we're both aware, we both don't want to die, and we both don't have to die. For those reasons, we're the same.
I'm
And
not
in that
sure. Like
sense, I treat animals the same as people.
I get that, like you don't want to hurt always, but I'm not sure like an animal has the ability to reflect on itself or to think why it's here. So I think we would be different in that sense.
Okay, but is that relevant? Because neither do babies contemplate their existence. They don't have existential questions. So is it okay to eat babies too?
I think that I think animals were a purpose to like. Obviously, you're gonna disagree with me, but I think they're supposed to feed the humans.
And what makes you say that?
I mean, for our body, it's essential to have proteins and fats. Obviously, they can be acquired through other means, but
Yeah.
it's still one. It's still one of its source. Like
Okay, but
it's just
there's nothing about it, animals. There's nothing about a squirrel's body part or a rabbit's body part that says we humans must eat them. Nothing says that. Everything says that we have the ability to eat plant-based foods and proteins. There's no reason to harm an animal for protein. It's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I'll look more into it. Yeah, it's good talking to you.
Good, good. Yeah, keep learning. Learning is the key. So thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Knowledge, learn about the animals, learn about food, learn about crops. Learning is the key to everything.
Do you have religious views?
I'm not religious at all. I'm an atheist.
Okay. Do you believe that animals or humans have certain biological design that says that we were meant to eat animals?
No, there is no hint or sign that we humans are supposed to eat animals at all. There's no reason for that. In fact, it's not just me who says this. This is doctors and nutritionists around the world. Some of the highest degree say that there's no reason to eat animals at all.
Okay, what about our teeth?
What about them? They're tiny, they're stubby, they're not that sharp. And a lion's teeth are way more sharper than our teeth. And we don't have to eat meat just because we have teeth. We can chomp down on plants and fruits.
Okay, I heard you say something earlier about pesticides. And you think it's okay to use pesticides, but your whole basis here is protecting life, right?
Well, unfortunately, we live in a world, an ecosystem where pesticides are required to protect against bugs and mites and things like that. Unfortunately, it's a byproduct that animals die in the process. We can't stop it at this moment.
What
So in the
about
meantime,
pesticides
I think
and
that it's
herbicides?
justified to harm animals if you have to survive, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, what about pesticides and herbicides effect on humans?
I agree it's bad, but if you want to solve the problem, go vegan because vegans use less pesticides. Meat eaters cause way more crop production, and that causes more pesticides to be used. So being vegan would save pesticides, save crops, save land, save trees.
Different views, but you make a good argument.
Yeah, I mean, go look it up. I mean, I'm not lying. There's tons of studies on this. The vegans, vegetarians in the UK show discrepant environmental impacts. This is an Oxford peer-reviewed study which demonstrates vegans cause 75% less deforestation, 75% less carbon emissions. The amount of studies out there is tremendous. Go learn. Lots of data on our side.
Now, sorry, I'm ignorant on this. Does vegan mean you also don't participate in dairy products?
Yes, I don't consume dairy. Dairy is a very dangerous industry.
Would you consider breast milk a dairy product?
Human breast milk? No.
Yeah. It's milk though, right?
But it's not an animal product. It's a human product, which isn't required for babies to consume.
Okay. Different views, but good talking to you.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, people have this weird notion that vegans are like, no, they're Ace Ventura. There's no, we're perfect. We watch every step we take for ants. That's not what veganism means. It's about being practical, but also understanding your place in your moral atmosphere. How do I minimize harm? How do I, not cause as much as I need to?
Hello.
Hi, how are you? How
I'm
old are
good.
you?
I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2006,
What month?
February 1st.
Okay. Happy birthday. What do you got?
So, are you more vegan because you don't like eating animals or because it's not healthy?
I'm a vegan because I don't want to harm an animal. It's an ethical stance to me.
Harm an animal? But you're not
Yeah,
doing it.
absolutely. I don't want to harm an animal.
But you're not harming anything.
Well, I'm paying somebody. Well, you're paying somebody to harm an animal for you, right? You're paying somebody on behalf of yourself to harm somebody to get that product. So I think that's wrong. Whether or not you're doing it, directly, I think you're still causing harm that's unnecessary.
What does your diet look like?
I eat everything you eat except for the dead carcass. I eat pastas and beans, and there's vegan pizza. There's vegan chicken nuggets now. They're vegan. They're made of like all kinds of stuff, but you don't have to kill an animal to be healthy or happy.
Have you seen the girl who ate only fruit and she died because her heart stopped because she wasn't getting...
She was dehydrated severely, and that's her fault. That's bad, and that's not what vegans support at all. You can be a unhealthy vegan just as you can be a healthy vegan, just as you can be a healthy meat eater or an unhealthy meat eater. There are tons of meat eaters that have heart attacks and strokes and disease because of their diet. So I would never tie specific person to an ethical stance.
Do you eat eggs?
No.
What's wrong with eating eggs?
The egg industry is very toxic because first of all, they force these hens to lay so many that they would naturally not do hundreds of eggs per year, which naturally they only do maybe 10 or 20. So their bodies are just really, harmed by all this production of eggs. It causes their bones to become brittle because all that nutrients are being sucked out of their bodies into the eggs. Their bones break under their own weight. And in eggs also a lot of chicks are killed when it comes to the production of eggs because a lot of those chicks are not useful to the farmers, so they grind them up alive. And this is a common practice around the world, and I think that's wrong. So I don't partake in eggs at all.
What if you had your own hen, you could watch over it? Would you still eat eggs?
No, and this is a gray area, right? Not every ethical framework is going to be perfect, but I think that the way I see it is everything I do to somebody else, I ask myself, why do I want this done to me? And if I was somebody who was stuck into a backyard or somebody's home and forced to lay eggs, I would never want that for me. I would never want somebody to take my eggs, right, and use me as a exploitation device. So to me, I think it's always wrong to exploit anybody, whether or not they know it or are aware of it. But this again is a gray area, and every vegan's different on this. And I just don't think it's okay to me personally. But this is
don't
a
plants
side point.
produce things we need more than animals? So wouldn't it be worse to kill plants?
Yeah, and that's why. Well, no, not necessarily. But I think it's still wrong to kill plants, absolutely. But vegans kill less plants. So meat
isn't
eaters are
that the
killing more
diet?
animals and more plants because most of the crops we grow around the world are fed to the animals that you kill. So you're killing way more crops and animals.
It's not like these animals are being hanged and then whipped 12 times until they die. They die quick. It's not like a...
Well, the sad part is that that's not always true. In fact, 15% of the time in factories, a lot of the animals are actually aware while they're being dismembered because a lot of the times the stun guns don't work. They don't become as potent when there's tons of pigs in line to be gassed. So USDA, this is USDA, about 14 to 50% of cows are conscious while they're being killed. And the amount of suffering, not just in the quick death, but also what precedes that, right? The being stuffed in a cage, locked in a room where there's tons of noises and you're cramped, you're sitting in your own feces, you're sitting in your own urine, you develop
They do that all the
infections.
time, though.
They cut their beaks off of the chickens so they don't bite each other. There is a lot of horror in these factories, and most of these animals are treated like this before they're even killed. And then while they're being killed, many of them are conscious too. So the practices are not good, and it's because of the sheer number of these animals that you demand. And with great numbers comes great harm in these factories. And that's why I'm against all this, because veganism stops it. Veganism says, no, let's not partake in any of this, and let's treat animals better. And most of us say we love animals, so let's act like we do.
Don't animals kill each other anyway?
Humans kill each other. it doesn't mean we get to treat other humans like trash because some of us kill each other. But also, animals are a bit different than we are in the sense that they don't have as much, ability as we do. They are more instinctual. They are more, they are not as decisive as we are. But that doesn't give us the right to kill them.
Okay. Okay, you have a
All right.
nice day.
Have a good day. One last guest. Who will it be? Keep tapping and please like the live and please subscribe to my YouTube where I have all my content, all my debates are recorded and stuck on the YouTube. And yes, please follow me here so you can see more debates. It's free. It's all free.
Hello.
Hi, how old are you?
I'm 24.
Great. What do you have for us today?
So I just wanted to ask you, well, actually, I kind of have a debate on it, but I just wanted to let you know that some humans actually need to eat meat for their body. So many people have allergies and intolerances to plant-based proteins like soy, and sometimes they actually have to have protein.
There are many sources of protein that are not soy. I mean, there's all kinds of beans and nuts and
I know
seeds.
you're talking about like
There are ways to avoid these allergies without killing animals.
But if you think about it, animals provide the most vitamin B12 to us, and they give us a lot of supplements. It's not like we're just eating
That's
animals.
not at all true. No. Many studies have been done on B12, and it actually shows that vegans and meat eaters actually have the same amounts of B12 in their bodies. There's no significant change or difference when it comes to meat. But more importantly, you can get B12 as a vegan very, very easily. Mushrooms, duckweeds, greens, and fruits, some of it have protein, have a B12. And you can always supplement with the B12. It's very easy to do so.
Yeah, of course, there's supplements, there's vitamins, there's a bunch of plant-based foods that can, give us iron and stuff for people that suffer with anemia. But the best source of, and it's been done in research, that the best source for people with iron deficiency is red meat and poultry and seafood.
Not at all. Not at all. Meat is full of heme iron, which is actually very toxic for the body. But that's actually irrelevant because as a vegan, you can have plenty of iron in your body. There's plenty of plants that have iron. Spinach has almost all your daily requirements in one serving. There's no need to eat meat for iron.
Okay. Have you ever heard of Crohn's disease, celiac disease, any gastrointestinal diseases?
I know vegans who have Crohn's disease.
Mm-hmm. And they are fine without any animal products?
Yes. There are ways to amend your diet and change and adapt to fit your medical needs. There's no reason why you have to eat animal products. Now, I can see if there's some specific medical, reason why, maybe there's something in meat that you need, sure, but for the most part, 99% of us don't need to eat meat at all. There's no need.
Okay, I want to ask you, so since you're vegan, right, you not only care about the animal, but you care about our environment, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I want to ask you about, I don't know if you've heard about the impact that avocados and almonds have, but they require significant amount of water, right? So do you think that producing this is causing harm to us or no?
No, because if you look at how much water almonds and avocados require, it is way less than even the most efficient meat products. So all plant-based foods are way more efficient than any meat products. Here's a great example of this. A study called Vegans and Vegetarians in the UK showed descriptive environmental impacts, and it actually demonstrates that vegans use about 54% less water
Right.
than their counterpart meat eaters. So there's a study that demonstrates we actually used way less water because the amount of water required to make avocados and almonds and all those things is way less than any meat product.
Okay. And so I know somebody the girl mentioned earlier that why can animals eat each other but we can't? But you said, humans kill each other. Humans kill each other not by like it's not a moral to. It's they're just impacted. Animals have the natural prey in them to hunt, and that's their way of survival. And we can't control an animal's life, so
But we can control our actions. We can control our diets. We can control our choices. That's why I'm vegan, because we can make choices that save lives. You don't have to follow the animals, right? Just because an animal sniffs its own ass doesn't mean we have to too, right?
Okay.
Just because should we go around sniffing each other's butts? No. We don't have to be like the animals in every way. We can simply make choices that we can make, and it's not as you're putting it. I think what you're saying is wrong.
Okay, so how would you go about the food chain? So right now, like everyone stops eating animals. How do we control the population of animals?
We stop breeding them into existence by the billions. That's how you stop. That's how you control their population. You go vegan. The best way to control populations is to be vegan. Way better for the environment. By far. And does that answer your question?
Kind of. Like I'm asking you, so right now you said breed billions of animals. Where do you think the earth, like, especially with today's society, how they are, do you think there's enough space for the whole population of animals? And I'm talking about, like if we have billions of cows, billions of chickens, billions of, just pork, like
No,
pigs.
a lot of land in the world is used for animals. We can unlock lots of that land by not being meat eaters. There's enough land for a lot of animals and people, but that's irrelevant. What's irrelevant is that vegans are using less of it. We are killing less animals, we're causing less suffering, and we're doing way better for the environment and the animals. It's just a win-win for us in every way. There's no cons about being vegan at all.
I have nothing against veganism, but I
Then
know
why are you
that
not vegan? Then why are you not vegan?
because, like I said, I actually suffer from like low iron, and I've tried taking iron supplements, and I've tried taking omega, like fatty acids. I've tried taking a bunch of different things to help
Okay.
my body.
Okay. Well,
And my
I
doctor
would
recommends
the responsible look, I'm not a doctor, but the responsible thing to do is to talk to a nutritionist, talk to a plant-based nutritionist, see if you can possibly go on a plant-based diet with the iron. I can guarantee you, I think you probably can. But yeah, I mean, if your nutritionist says, "Oh no, don't do it," then okay, then you have a point there. But I think that there's no good evidence that you have to eat meat for iron. I think that's just a bad argument.
So what do you
But thank you
think
for being here.
about people?
Have a good day. I'm tired, guys. I'll answer some comments and questions. Plants have been found to be sentient. Great. Where's your source for that? There is no source that says plants are sentient. They have no brains, no nothing like that. Mike, do you seem happier after your break? Yes, absolutely. But I've also changed my style of debating. I was a bit abrasive before, and I'm trying to stop doing that. It's hard. It's a big challenge for me to be very patient, but it's working, and I'm proud of myself. Plants are full of anti-nutrients. Well, who cares? First of all, that's not true. They're not full of anti-nutrients. You can cook them away. But some of those anti-nutrients have actually been shown to be protective against cancers. They're actually beneficial to get a minimal amount of anti-nutrients in your diet. But also, you could cook them away. And you can avoid certain foods that have them if you're so worried. It's not a good reason to not be vegan. Plants communicate with each other. Well, so does my phone. Is my phone sentient because my phone sends signals to other phones? No. Communication does not equate to sentience. Again, it's very nuanced, and you have to be very careful, but plants are not sentient as far as anybody can see. Thoughts on hunting and fishing? It's wrong. You're harming this beautiful planet for no reason. The biggest reason why I'm vegan is because I love life. I do not take life for granted. I make sure that every minute of my life is used for the good. And I'm extremely peaceful and I'm extremely happy. And I'm grateful for life. So that's why I don't take it away from others. When I say I love animals, I mean it. I don't just say I love animals and then go ahead and eat them. And I don't just say I love dogs and then the next thing I do is kill an animal, a cow. I say what I mean. I do what I mean. And I'm so in love with life that I cherish it. That's why I don't want to take it away from others. So that has a lot to do with why I'm vegan. But animals are amazing. People are greatly underestimating how precious animals are, how innocent they are, and how much we cause them suffering. It's just so much. And it's unnecessary. So it makes me upset to see the amount of suffering we cause. And it took me one day to be vegan. Once I saw the pain and suffering we cause, I stopped doing it. Plants are living, but they're not sentient. My left ass cheek is living, but it's not sentient. The microbes in my stomach are living, but they're not sentient. Do you cry when your toothbrush is washed because you're washing away the bacteria? No, they're alive, but the bacteria is alive, but they're not sentient, right? So there's a difference. You have convinced me, Mike. I'm going vegan from today. I already threw out my last meat products. Good for you. It takes courage. It takes thought. It takes understanding to change. Every major change in history has started with some person thinking, going, wait a minute, what we're doing is wrong. Let's see how we can change, right? Let's see. They're not all that bad. Let's change. Let's do something better. Let's leave a better world for descendants. And that's really what veganism is right now, in that stage where people are starting to catch on. Yeah, time change will come. I mean, well, we don't just want to sit and wait for change. That's not how you make change happen. It starts with you. It starts with all of us. Each of us have a responsibility to change. But that's what's happening. More and more people are catching on. And the future is vegan because the facts are on our side. Numbers don't lie. You know, numbers don't lie. What facts? The amount of animals you're killing is unnecessary. The amount of environmental damage you're causing can be reduced objectively. So, thank you guys. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Thanks for watching. What about shrimp? Well, if it has a nervous system, I don't want to harm it. But also, there's a much more environmental incentive to not eat seafood. We are we are stripping away the oceans of fish. Trillions of fish per year are being sucked up away from the oceans. We are destroying the oceans, and it's not good at all. It's destroying. We're destroying the coral reefs. We're destroying the beautiful biodiversity of our oceans, and it's terrible what we're doing. There are many reasons not to eat fish, but ethically, fish do feel pain. Now, there are some shellfish that potentially don't. That's a different story, and that's a gray area, of course. But I would say I would withhold from any consumption of fish because number one, they could be many of them could be sent in, and two, it's a really big impact on the environment. It's just too much of a risk. So, for those reasons, I'm out. But yeah, just keep learning about the food system. Right? That's where it all begins. It begins about you taking your time to learn about the world around you. This way you can make better decisions. And I guarantee you, knowledge is going to make your life better. It always does. Understanding and knowledge always increases our quality of life. And that's what all I can hope for you. I'm not here to say you must be vegan today. I'm here to say, wait a minute. Maybe what I'm doing is wrong, and because of these reasons that I didn't know before, but now I do. Right? That's the goal here. The goal is to make you think, make you learn, and if we can do that in a fun way, it's a win-win for all of us. So, thank you guys. I gotta go. Have a good day. Bye, guys. Enjoy. Take care of each other, and don't eat animals. They're friends, not food.